is the curse, like the curse of the law and all that stuff, right? The word that we use, right? Is what that is just really the dumbing down of the humanity? Like humans, when we get on Earth, you have a tendency to forget where you come from. What y'all think? Down through the years, you pass down the story, and it watered down from the original who you were to now it's just the rules and the regulations and the steps and just what you're supposed to do. And nobody remembers. Like you don't remember yourself.
You know, like that way of thinking and the way of living, like they don't come for you as a child. That stuff is pressured upon you. That people want you to know everything so they can feel comfortable that they know that you know everything. Where's all this coming from? Like it's not coming from what we supposed to remember. It's not coming from that.
What's poppin'? We back. We back for another one.
Wow, what's good?
For another one. This is Redin30, literally. We're gonna make you Redin30. But Wagwan, how you say Wagwan? It's like what's going on?
Yeah.
Wagwan.
I watched too much Top Boy.
Well, we're gonna Wagwan and you're. We don't know what we saying, boy.
Wagwan.
But yeah, we're back at Redin30. Here we are. You know what I'm saying? And we're back again with Swag. What up, Swag? You good? Yep. Cool. EJ, you good? This boy looking dead in the camera.
I'm good.
Shout out to Jam and Maul on the video and the audio. Give it to her. Come on, give some gunshots. Give some gunshots, Maul.
Lawrence and Greg.
Maul turned up. Lawrence and Greg. Actually, it's Lawrence and Greg. It's not Jam and Maul. It's Lawrence and Greg. Lawrence and Greg are Clark and Bruce.
Bro, when you said that, like I pictured like two dudes like hopped in a time machine from like 1942.
And every time you see them on the desk like this.
And they just so happy that they're young again with their name still Lawrence and Greg.
Lawrence and Gregory. Lawrence and Greg, aka Jam and Maul. Jam and Maul is Superman and Batman.
Right.
But
that's a really good name switch, bro.
Clark and Bruce.
That's a really good name switch. Cause sometimes, bro, I do be feeling sorry for kids who got like bad names, bro.
Oh, bro.
There's nothing they can do about it.
There's nothing they can do about it but live with it.
Like get like a nickname. You know what I'm saying? Like an initial nickname like JJ or like your first name is like
we just call them that one letter.
Yeah, right.
It's time to start naming kids the scientific name for the future. You know what I'm saying? Like name your son Zarglad. Someone down, you know what I'm saying? So in the future, it's gonna be his name is Zarglad. You need to start naming them now.
This sounds like a Milliver's name. That sounds like a name. You know you gotta get the new domains.
Zarglad.
Yeah, but we here, man. Redin30, we back, man. Hey, the last conversation we had, I gotta pick up off of that because I've been thinking about it. Right? And I was, we were talking about like Jesus and, him reminding himself. Right? Then what we talking about that? Like him reminding himself, like when he says I am, so he reminds himself. And I was wondering, like, does he have to remind himself because he forgot? Or is he trying to keep himself from forgetting? Here's another question. I'm gonna pose this question to y'all and then we can talk about it. What is the curse? Like the curse of the law and all that stuff, right? The word that we use, right? Is what that is just really the dumbing down of the humanity? Like humans, when we get on Earth, you have a tendency to forget where you come from. What y'all think?
Yeah.
Well,
I kind of feel like that's what it is. Because now that I'm thinking about it, that's almost like the whole, that's the whole problem thing.
It's the whole storyline.
That's the whole storyline. You forget where you come from.
Right.
Like it always looks
like your own lack of memory is the actual antagonist in the story.
Right.
Yeah.
You forgot where you came from.
It's the villain.
Right.
Your mind, crazy. Your mind is the hero and the villain at the same time.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? And depends on what you feed it, determines whether it's the villain or the hero.
Right.
That's nuts, right?
Yeah, that depends on how you see forgetting too.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people look at the word forgetting and they think it's like something that leaves that don't come back.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like what you said, like dumb down, like you dump something down or you water it down or you cover it or you suppress it.
Yeah.
Or you cut or you there's so much stuff on top of it that you can't tell. I think it's more of that because it's like You know what I'm saying? Like, you might forget something, but it's still there. It's just like covered up by all kind of other stuff.
So all right. So is it? So so you're saying that forgetting is a byproduct of out of sight, out of mind. You ever heard the statement out of sight, out of mind?
Yeah.
That means you don't see it, you don't think about it, right? So are you saying that forgetting is really not that it's not there? That's what you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it's the fact that it's covered up, or you just don't notice it, or you're not aware. Shout out to aware. Yeah,
Right.
I can't. I'm right. Just go get me in. I'm not sure aware. But anyway, it's like that you're not aware that it's there.
Yeah, because I can't leave you.
Right. Can't leave. So who you are can't leave.
Okay.
Right.
So you can, but who you are can be covered.
Yep.
It can be deceived. It can be infected and tainted.
Yep.
True.
Yep.
Like it's low key what we call the conscious.
Right.
You know, so everybody be like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody kind of knows when they do something quote unquote wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on like how far is your conscious like just like all
Seared. They call it seared.
You know what I'm saying?
The conscious is seared. It's almost
Right.
like you just got like numb to it.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like too. It's like when you reach a certain point in life that you think is a good place for you,
Mm-hmm.
you be like, man, there's something more.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like who is saying that?
Who's saying that?
Right.
Who's saying that? Right.
Like that's you.
Right.
Yep.
I think even that seared mentality of consciousness is this is very scary what I'm about to say,
Mm-hmm.
because you can actually turn the music off so it get quiet. Because you can actually find yourself in this moment. Like I think there is an universal seared conscious. Like we're growing up and our learning institutions and our religious institutions and our family institutions and whatever else is built off of a seared consciousness mentality to the point to where you don't even know that you ain't who you are. Make sense? It's almost like it's one thing for a person, like, and that can happen to you personally.
Right.
But it's like, what if your truth? This is why I don't like to use the phrase "your truth."
Mm-hmm.
What if your truth is actually built off of the seriousness? It's almost like it's like this. It's like this.
Yeah.
You remember say hurt people.
Yep.
A lot of times people go into a situation. I had to tell myself the other day that I got to stop living now based off of what happened then.
Right. Right.
I'll stop bringing my old insecurities into the new place with new people and new things. But I got my old insecurities, so I got my old triggers and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But so sometimes I build my identity off of a seared conscious. So my conscious, let's say I've been seared from whatever reason, right? So now I go into a new place and I'm supposed to be feeling.
Yep.
I'm supposed to be aware here. I'm supposed to be whatever, but I can't even do it because I built my identity off of a seared blueprint.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? So this is why I think what you said, what we talked about last episode, and what you said is important with Jesus, because now when he introduces the I am, or he introduces the one with God, he introduces the kingdom of God is within you.
Mm-hmm.
Or introduces if you have faith as being a must see. I think when he introduces these things to us, in your patience possess you, your soul. When he introduces this, he begins to introduce or reintroduce. Allow me to reintroduce myself, right? I think you're just going my way. I started smirking. I said, hey, I got it, right? But it reintroduced to you the thing that was there before, because it's break the word down.
Mm-hmm.
What it said, what you have to remember.
Mm-hmm.
What this up? I don't know. Oh, shit. I said, well, hey, but you gotta remember.
Mm-hmm.
Re means do it again. So you have to remember again.
Right.
Yep.
So remember, watch this, Red. We always think remember as a mentality. We just go straight to forgetting, the opposite of forgetting.
Yeah.
And we go to remember and we think of thoughts and we think, and it does begin with our thoughts. But what if remembering was you were a member already?
Right.
And now you're remembering yourself. Like you was already in the club.
Yep.
But for some reason, you got the pass and everything, but for some reason,
Exactly what it is.
through some kind of whatever, you forgot that you already had access.
Yep.
So now
Okay.
you remember yourself. You remember yourself. Like it's funny because there's a I think scripture in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy. Yeah, it says, "But you shall remember the Lord your God,
Mm-hmm.
for it's He that give you power to get wealth, that He may establish His covenant." Right. But what it hit me today was, and I was still thinking about what you texted me the other day about. And I was thinking about remembering, like, does Jesus have to remember who He is, right? And the truth is that He said, "Thou shalt remember not the scriptures, not the laws, not the rules, because all those are secondary to the being."
Mm-hmm.
Right? There is no law, no rule, no being without. There is no law, no rule, or no script or something written without the writer.
Yep.
And it hit me so hard. He was like, "Thou shalt remember the Lord your God." He goes straight to remembering an identity.
Yep.
It's not remembering an action. It's not remembering something that happens. And we can use those things, but it's like he goes straight to remembering a personality.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? And it says, "For it's He that giveth thee," or you, power to get well to establish His covenant. What is that? That's us. That's who we are. He gives you power to be Him.
Yep. Yep.
But the fallen nature, quote unquote, is it was your nature already. You were already a member. But some kind of way you forgot. Ain't that crazy?
Right.
And if I go through the story, I know how we forgot. Because in the beginning, God said everything it was with knowledge of good and evil, and it was so many years of knowledge of good and evil. You know how people pass things down. We be talking about ancestors and all this stuff. You know how people pass stuff down. But people tell you a story, but they leave out the bad part.
Yep.
They leave out the part when they was like trash. Or they leave out the part when they just mess it up rawly. It's kind of like that, right? It's like down through the years, you pass down the story.
Yep.
And it watered down from the original who you were to now it's just the rules and the regulations and the steps and just what you're supposed to do. And nobody remembers. Like you don't remember yourself.
It's almost like just it keeps wrapping layers and layers and layers and layers.
Yep.
And it's go all the way down. And you just got a big ball of.
It's a whole nother thing.
It's like a whole other thing.
It's a whole. If you keep wrapping things on top of something.
Yeah.
You can take one of these peppermints or something like that on the table, right? And you keep wrapping, put a sock over it, and put a t-shirt over it,
Right.
and then put something else over. Before you know it, now it looks like a whole nother thing. And you wouldn't even know that on the way deep down the inside is the peppermint.
It's like you ever see the little Russian doll thing?
Yeah, boy.
Like that.
What do they call them things?
It's like
There's a
Russian.
name. There's a name for it. I'm about to find a name for it. There's a name for it. Is it Russian or Swedish?
Might be Swedish. I know I've seen it in this. You see it before, swag, you know, little thing, right?
It's like a real dog.
No, it's like it's like
Yeah, it's called. I'm trying to say it right because
Or a doll.
it's me Treska. MATRYOSHKA.
Oh yeah, the ones that be eating each other.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
They put them on the inside. Yeah, they inside each other.
what is it? The Pac-Man. The Pac-Man. I don't know how to say it, but it's Matryoshka, I guess. Matryoshka, Oscar, whatever. But it's it's a little dog that it's like that.
Yeah.
Until you get down to the final one.
Yep.
So it's layers. Didn't we do a podcast called Living in the Layers? I think we did one way back on the episodes. But it's like that, and so now you've forgotten. So let me get back to Jesus, and I'm gonna tell you now what I'm about to say makes me very, very secure in my humanity and very, very secure in my infirmities. All right, because I'm looking at Jesus, and I really think he has to remind himself on a regular. We learn Jesus from deity. We learn Jesus from being God's Savior. Like y'all know this, we didn't start this red word until we started Redin30. We weren't even looking at Jesus like that.
Right.
We didn't even know he said some of the stuff that he said. Like, no, I'm talking. We went to church. We was in vacation Bible school. We went to all these revivals and everything, and we literally didn't know some of these things that he was saying directly, right? So now when we older, so now I'm looking at it now, and I'm seeing that a lot of times Jesus was expressing like complete humanity.
Yeah.
And he was showing what humanity looks like. For instance, I was like, I was thinking the other day, like, this is why he was in Galilee. You go read the search, he'd leave and go to Galilee. Why? Because he's proving to stay. He's not trying to separate himself from the culture or from the community. I'm gonna live right in the midst of everything.
Right.
So you wanna know you're really strong? You're really strong when you can be in the midst of the mud and still stay clean.
Yep.
Right? You can be in the midst of other cultural phenomenons and still remain who you are in the culture.
Right. Right.
That's the difference between a thermostat and a thermometer.
Right.
You get it? You get in the culture, you fall in the mud with pigs, you turn into a pig, right? That's thermometer stuff. But if you fall into a place and then it starts to turn into what you are, that's C.
Right. Right.
A normal spot that was nothing turns into a tree. Ain't that crazy? But I think that, and you said, how did you say you were saying when you said I am? You said the last episode. What you said? You said when you said I am, it wasn't just him talking about himself.
Yeah, sometimes when we hear stuff like that, or like just hear anything Jesus talking about himself with, like we always think, like we accept it as him being it for sure. But then also we be like it's him, but it's not me.
It's separate.
Where do you think that come from? You think
I have to accept him as that, so he can accept that I'm not that. That's how we think about it.
That's what we talk about it.
That's how we think about it.
That's what it exchanged. He was so good, so we not good. He was so good, so he took our not goodness away.
Yeah.
But first of all, I think they're so narcissistic for a lot of people. I think it's extreme narcissism to say he died for me.
I think it's the best way I can see it right now, right? Like, you know how you talk about, like, you have conversations in your mind and interviews in my mind? Because I'll be doing that too sometimes. And
who you be talking to?
Huh?
Who you be talking to?
I don't know.
I be having people. I be talking to people.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, like someone that asked me, like, you know how people ask you like certain questions about, like, you think you such and such, huh? They'd be like, yeah. And somebody asked me, it was like, you think you a genius, huh? And like in that imagination, like I answered, I was like, yeah, like I am a genius.
Right.
And I was like, nah, like I know that I'm a genius. And and like
Need some water?
no, like the way I said it was, you know what I'm saying? Some people would be like, oh yeah, like he arrogant or whatever. Because sometimes we see like some famous people will be like,
yeah.
I'm a genius.
Right.
We look at it as being cocky and stuff like that. But you gotta emphasize like saying that I am a genius. I'm not saying I'm the genius.
Yeah, right.
I'm a genius.
Well, so hold on.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, that tells me that, all right,
I love it.
I know that I'm a genius. And low key, I'm saying that you a genius too. I just can't say it to you.
You smart.
Like until you accept it for yourself first.
Right.
You're intelligent.
No, so you gotta accept it for yourself first.
Right.
You a genius.
You know what I'm saying? But when I'm saying it like that, Cali.
You the best.
You know what I'm saying? But when I'm saying it like that, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to show you how to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can be, because like, we can break it down to this. You know what I'm saying? It's some things that, like everybody has a certain thing that they can do or like way of thinking that can be portrayed as a genius,
Right.
depending on how you look at it. And so like, there's certain things that I can do to be like, put boom, 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 boom,
Right, and boom.
But then some stuff over here, I can't. It's not, it don't come as natural for me.
Hit them up, Sway. Say, ooh, yeah.
Like, it don't come as natural. Exactly.
Hit them up, Sway. Ooh, yeah. I got some water for you, good. Here, take some water. Come on. Come on. Ooh, yeah.
It don't come as natural from me, right?
Yeah.
Like,
come on, go ahead. Yeah. I'll do it. No, you gotta do yeah.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll come as natural for me.
But they say,
like,
hold on, so they say I can do all things too.
Nah. Not that one.
That ain't through Christ, right?
That's why I say, nah.
Hey, what is this? Oh, okay, this is the flavor water.
You just remember.
Appreciate y'all.
And that electrolytes, you heard me? But,
So it's like you being the genius, being a genius in what you know what you got your hands to do. You know what I'm saying?
they got some dude that's 5'4",
Yeah.
that you're never gonna be a center in the NBA. I don't care how much you like Shaq, Hakeem, and Kareem, and all of them, and how much you look to them, and you can go outside practice, move and everything. You're 5'4", bro. So you're not about to be a center in the NBA.
Right.
No, but that's not your gifting. That's not your calling. That's not you weren't programmed or DNA written to be that.
Yeah.
But there is something that your DNA written to be. It doesn't have to be just physical. I'm just using that.
Yeah.
But it's something, and so here's the thing. You said that I'm a genius. I'm not saying you're not. So here's the statement. You ready? The work that I do, should you do also.
Yeah, but it's like no matter what, like I have to be like that. Because if I'm not like that, there is no chance of you ever seeing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Yo, Swag, I just was on Instagram.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing you like a disservice if I don't be who I'm supposed to be. If I know I'm supposed to be there.
Swag, I was just on my Instagram and I saw, and I be shouting people out because I don't care when people know I hear stuff. And Priscilla Shire, I don't know if y'all know her, but she was teaching, and look, a minute-long video on it, and she was like, there's people's lives that depend on you being the full version of you.
Yeah.
Like the window of their purpose depends on you walking into the window of your purpose with everything that you got. You get it? It's like you never gonna see if I don't be.
Yep.
Now be what? It doesn't matter. That really you have to keep your mind open to humility, all that, because you don't really know who you're supposed to be until the time. That's why I think, like back again, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta remind myself that I'm one with God, and that I am, with God, because then it allows me. That's why I say I think Jesus to remind himself, because then it allows me to, as I hear, I judge.
Yep.
And my judgment is just. This is what his words, because I'm only doing the will of the Father. Right? This is why that is. So now my acknowledgement and remembering myself. My acknowledgement and my remembrance ends up flowing to my members.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing, manifesting. You know, it's the way that. But it ends up coming from me because it is who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? An apple tree produces apples. Orange tree produces oranges. And if I know who I am, then I produce what I produce automatically.
Right.
So I don't really need to know so much what I'm gonna do, and that's our problem. In society, we that's why knowledge and evil is crazy, because knowledge and evil is you want to know it all.
Yeah.
You want to know everything. You want to know everything but yourself. Think about this one. Think about a minute. We live in a society where we want to learn everything but ourselves. And then when we learn those things, we take our degrees, our certificates, our money value, bank account, all this stuff, our marriage status, children, husband, wife, all that stuff like that, and we take that and we take this big thing, we ball it up, and we make this artificial intelligence called identity.
Hey, but that's another thing too, though, because like, as a child that don't come from you. You know what I'm saying? Like that way of thinking and the way of living, like they don't come for you as a child.
Right.
That stuff is pressured upon you.
Yep.
Like people,
it's planted in.
Like He said people want you to know everything so they can feel comfortable that they know that you know everything.
Right. It don't make no sense.
It's like
Who knows everything?
it's like what you gonna do after high school?
Okay.
And like most high school kids are like, man, I don't even know. Oh man, you gotta know. You gotta.
This is the most important year of your high school career.
You gonna waste your
That's
you gotta get on. You gotta.
That's the layers.
Start college now. You gotta.
And then immediately goes worry.
Yep.
So about 22 years old, you gotta find your
Who you gonna marry?
marriage.
Who you gonna marry? But have the kids by the time for you.
About 25, you gotta have kids.
Right, because you don't want to be no old father.
Right.
By 30, you gotta be like in the top position at your job. Oh wait, you skipped the job. You gotta find a job.
You gotta find a
It's
job.
like, bruh, where's all this coming from?
Yeah, it's
Like it's not coming from what we supposed to remember.
No, it's not.
It's not coming from that.
It's not.
Somebody told me this the other day. They said it was cool conversation, but it was like the expectations of illusions. Because you got
That's dope.
these goals, these goals, you
Right.
do this by a certain age, you do this, and it's like they basically saying they don't really rock with that type of thought, you know what I'm saying? But it's expectation of illusions.
Yeah, I don't know who started all this because I think this is why we die younger. Our people die younger. We not live as long as in the Bible, but it's like who started this?
Right.
Who came up with these what it is? Expectations of illusions.
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe we'll talk about that on the next part because these expectations of illusions cause you, we shout out to Expect the Fresh.
Right.
Right? So we believe in expecting the fresh. Chris Band. Shout out. You ain't got one of these. We believe in expect the fresh because if I expect the fresh, then the fresh is what I'll receive. That I believe expect the fresh sounds just like as I hear I judge. All I have to do is remind myself that I'm fresh. All the time.
Yep.
And then now because I remind myself, I expect that on a regular.
Yep.
You get it? But we have these expectations of illusion. So if expect the fresh is I know I'm fresh, so I'm always expecting fresh. Then I have expectations of illusions, then I'm expecting something. What is an illusion? It's something that's not even there. It's something that's not even real. It's something that doesn't even matter. So now I have expectations, faith, and everything built on something that's not even there.
Right.
And so now what I begin to create illusions.
Yep.
Illusions doesn't come from me. Not only do I have illusions, but now I'm delusional.
Right.
I think this is where, and we can get into all the mental health things and everything. A lot of that stuff traced back to the same things, these ideas of grandeur, they call them.
Yep.
All these expectations of illusions, I love them. And now we have these expectations upon ourselves, and we don't even know ourselves.
Right.
How can you expect something from yourself, EJ, you don't even know you?
Exactly.
And you don't know you because and I'm clear about what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm clear about what we're doing at Redin30. I'm clear about what our goal is because we are somebody has to be somebody that's willing to stand out on the hill, on the rock and say, yo, like you don't know who you are. You learned it the wrong way. You learned it this way and now you're living off a elusive identity. Elusive. It keeps evading you. And somebody gotta tell you, no, it's right there with you. It's been there with you the whole time. This is, you ready for this? This is the gospel.
Yep.
I didn't say the gospel of Jesus Christ because Jesus never said that phrase.
Right.
He said preach the gospel. See, they came up with the gospel of Jesus Christ, so now it was about what Jesus Christ did and never about who you are.
Yep.
Right? But this is the gospel. The good news is, yo, you in the club already. You've been in already.
And that's because
Right.
and that's because most people only allow Jesus to be the genius.
Yeah. They don't want to do the work.
So I got nothing else, dog. Hey, we gotta come back and talk about that. Because most people only allow Jesus to be the genius. Boy, and we're gonna bust back. Because we gotta talk about that. Most people only allow Jesus to be the genius.
Come on, man.
That's why this is Redin30, guys. Y'all know we Redin30. This is what we make you Redin30. Redin30.com. Y'all check it out. We're here. Shout out to Swag. Appreciate it again, bro. EJ, appreciate it.
Here, Steve.
Shout out to Lawrence and Greg. Jam them all. It's like 4 people. Shout out. And yeah, we'll be back. Don't worry, she'll be back. Another killer. She love me in the morning. You remember that?
That was on.
Y'all remember that? That's Chris Tucker said that on. Did you know Chris Tucker said that on?
I remember you saying
What
that.
movie was on?
So the Money Talks.
What's the money talk?
Rush Hour.
Don't worry, she'll be back. Another kilo. She love me in the morning. That's how he said it. All right, so Red 30, we out.